Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the games from the LEC today and preview tomorrow's series that should take place in Europe. Prediction-wise, I'm 311 and 147 on the year. Went 2-0 today. I thought Mad Lions would win 2-1. They would win 2-0. Mad coming in 3-6, Astralis 6-3. Hillesung was MVP. He played outstanding League of Legends. Braum in game 1, and then in game 2, oh damn, what did he play in game 2? He played fantastic in that one as well. It's gonna come to me when I talk about this. Carzzy 24 kills, 6 deaths, 26 assists, 37% of the team's damage. Niski 18-2 and 32 in mid lane, also played absolutely outstanding. Kabe for Astralis tried his damnedest, could not win, going 15-7 and 6, 34% of damage, including a pentakill in game 2. Just a real draft diff in both games. I had said this going into this weekend. I thought that Mad Lions, with a week to prepare, they figured out last week they had a completely wrong idea of what was going to work in 13-6. They swapped things, they changed a lot, and they succeeded at a high level. I thought that not only that, they came in with a good game plan, and Astralis simply didn't. Finn was not involved at all in game 1. Very reminiscent of Bin yesterday playing awful in game 4 and being non-existent until his team was pretty much in a losing position. And in game 2, he didn't do that well either. Chasey getting the better of him, and Chasey didn't even really have to do much. 1-1-3 at times did some good things, but also into his face-off. Game 2, there was a moment where Mad Lions kind of gave. Maybe he played Thresh in game 2. Either way, Hilly, I'm talking about. But game 2, shoot, I am so hung up on Hilly's game 2 support pick because I picked him as MVP. It should stick out to me. Like, all I know is he was making plays everywhere in game 1 and in game 2. Oh, Rakan. That's what it was. So, speaking about 1-1-3 though. He goes bot lane in game 2 in the very early stages of the game, and somehow they get a double kill in bot lane when Mad Lions should have saw him on vision. It's like their monitor was turned off. It was completely ridiculous. And that gave Astralis a chance in that game, and then later on Mad Lions would pull out ahead because Hilly was all over the place doing crazy things on the Rakan. I thought he was just absolutely incredible. And then they go try and push to end, and Kabe is able to be a hero in the top side of the rift, getting a penta on Zeri. And, that was the only bright spot for Astralis in this series, because even Leader, he pulled out the Talon in game 2. Give him credit for having the balls to do that, but it did not work, and there's a reason why no one's playing Talon. And someone actually said on the co-stream, it might have been Yamato himself, Astralis ends up in the same spot they were last split with Dajor. Record's the same, and the finish was the same. They went 2-5 in the playoffs, and they were on blue side every game. This whole blue side diff thing, Astralis 2-5 and had blue side every game. So they just were not in position to succeed. Carzzy probably played the best weekend I've seen in a very long time. I mean, combined between the 2 days, he had, over 50 kills easily. He had 19 kills in game 3 yesterday and 24 today. I mean, that's 43 between the 3 games there. Plus, he had 2 more games he played yesterday. So, Mad Lions are feeling themselves. And, I mean, I know a lot of LEC fans don't want Mad Lions to go to MSI, but the fact of the matter is, Mad Lions find a time to perform domestically and get the job done. And all these other teams that we want to see win, if you're an LEC fan, they do not get the job done and put themselves in position to be here. And that, in the end, that's what matters. If you're not going to put if you're Vitality and you finish 6th place, who are you to be able to complain that Mad Lions are going in over Vitality? Vitality didn't show up for half the split. Like, it just doesn't work out. BDS, who knows what BDS is going to give you internationally. And I mean, Koi is out now, but I mean, it's just Mad Lions find a way. They find a way. And it just kind of is what it is. G2 and Koi, G2 5th, Koi 13th, G2 win 2-1. This was a G2 series. Yike was MVP, Hansama 11-11, Yike 9-6-18, Larson 15-4 and 8. So game one, very stock standard out of G2. They picked Lucian Nami bot lane. I'm not a fan of Lucian Nami, but I digress. I thought it was an even game until the Drake fight that occurred, and Sisgenda on Kennen played fantastic in that fight, and also had put himself in a good spot throughout the game to be able to take advantage of that moment. Malrang throughout the series, I thought, did what Malrang does. Doesn't farm and finds a way to make some things happen. Game one, very slow, but game two and game three, he was active at points. Game two, Koi had arguably the craziest macro decisions I've seen in a long time, trying to end the game, going open Nexus. They went through a Hextech portal to try and go catch G2 in the jungle as G2 were trying to run away because Koi were respawning, but because Koi now ended up on the opposite side of G2, G2 are like, well, let's just go back to the Nexus and the base and end the game. And that's what happened. Just very, very weird macro decisions. Game three as well. Sisgenda making some questionable decisions in games 2 and game 3. Game 1, very good on the Kennen, but game 2, into Kennen on Malphite, he's building armor and losing lane. And then in game 3 on Jace, he's losing into Gragas, which I don't think is supposed to happen. And if Broken Blade doesn't int under turret, I mean, that's even more lopsided than it ended up being. So Sisgenda, definitely questionable decisions in this series. His Koi are now done till summer. As far as bot lane's concerned, I thought Mickey did some good things on Thresh. You know, there were interesting things with this series as well, based on champion pool. I will say, and I continue to say, the meta is more diverse than a lot of people give it credit for. If you watch my patch look-back videos, you will see that it is more diverse than you actually think, because a lot of people default to the common tropes you see and the common copy pastas and shit like that. And it comes out that it's actually not the case, right? We see patches where Lucian isn't the most common matchup. You look at other things, you see, okay, Sante's not as popular anymore, and Maokai isn't as popular anymore. So the meta is shifting, and in game 2 we saw that. A crazy draft by both teams. G2 were playing Gragas, Maokai, Sejuani, I believe. Or was it? No, they had Kennen, because it was Kennen and Malphite. It was Kennen, Maokai, Sejuani, possibly. Bel'Veth. It was Bel'Veth. Yes, G2 played Bel'Veth. That was why Yike was MVP. His Bel'Veth was very good. And then in games 1 and game 3, I thought he did okay, where Caps was really bad in game 1 on Tristana. But nevertheless, trying to get in on this here, G2's draft in game 2 was crazy with Sejuani and Bel'Veth. And then you see Koi go with Varus mid. So they were willing to try something different as well. Didn't go as planned, but it was an interesting draft. And then in game 3, it was pretty close until it wasn't, simply. G2 taking objectives, winning fights around objectives, doing the right thing to get pickoffs, and with the soul, and also better decisions like Caps in the side lane on Yone taking down turrets as there's a fight going around the Drake and things like that. It was definitely good macro side laning by Caps in G2 to kind of put Koi in a position where you either fight the Drake or you don't, or you go try and kill Caps, but you lose a couple turrets. Like it was definitely G2 running circles around Koi in the macro department in this one. So G2 win, they move on to the best of 5s. This is not a shock. Koi beat G2 last time, and that was an upset, but I didn't expect Koi to be able to do that again. So G2 move on. Sneak peek for tomorrow: LEC, Vitality, and BDS. Best of 5. Winner goes right into finals, I'm pretty sure. Vitality 6-3, BDS 7-2. The matchup that they played in spring, BDS would win. Adam went 127, 20% of damage, I believe, on a Malphite. Photon 307, 20% of damage on Renekton in the loss. So it's actually kind of funny. You look at those, you say to yourself, wow, Photon actually had a really nice KDA. Can't believe he lost. Well, it's a Renekton. I mean, in the early game he's solid, but in the mid to late game he falls off like a ton of bricks. This will be really interesting as Bo and Sheo kind of duke it out as rookie junglers. Perks definitely needs to step up in this one as the most experienced player in this game. The carries for Vitality need to do it. This is where Vitality needs to make or break. I understand that they can go into loser bracket, but I really we saw this in winter. I do not think the team that has to go and win a bunch of best of fives in succession has a good chance. So I mean, I think they end up second. I don't know how it all works out. Either way, I think I'm trying to remember how it ends up being seeded, but I'll just look at it after I'm done. Regardless, Vitality's veterans need to show up, and they need to show up in a big way. This is the moment they need to win. If they do not win, Mad Lions are going to MSI. So that's it for the roundup. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a supporter, and thank you for watching.